that we get everything in that Sara has to tell you today. So we're going to go ahead and get started. My name is Donna. I am the Director of Marketing and Outreach for Illinois Digital Educators Alliance. Thank you so much for coming today. Before Sara begins, I'm just going to go through a few housekeeping items for everybody. A lot of you have heard me say it already, but if you keep yourself muted and stop your video throughout the presentation, as soon as I'm done talking, I'm going to do the same. That way Sara over at TechGirlz has kind of the spotlight screen, and she'll be able to do her thing without interruption or without, you know, so that she's on, like I said, the spotlight on the video. If you do have questions though, we very much welcome interaction. Sara will have a few opportunities throughout where she'll kind of ask if there's questions. But as we're going, if you do have questions, please put those in the chat window. I will be monitoring the back channel for Sara. And as she takes a breath, changes topic, whatever the case may be, when there's an opportunity to go ahead and interrupt her, I will be more than happy to do that and make sure that we get all of those questions answered. You're noticing people are putting where they're from in the chat window now and kind of what you teach. So if you want to continue to go ahead and do that, that kind of gives us a little direction on where to focus things throughout the presentation. And it's just interesting to know who's all here. So definitely please continue to do that as well. At the end of today's presentation, I'm going to pop back on, go over a few things, but I will also be offering the information on obtaining your 1 PD8 for attending today. So anybody who's an Illinois educator who's looking for their professional development hour credit, I will be putting that information in at the end of today's webinar, and you'll get that 1 credit hour for that. So I think that's all of my things. So without further ado, Sara's from TechGirlz. TechGirlz is one of our newest partners. And so she is going to take us through how educators can inspire girls to pursue technology, which is near and dear to my heart. So I'm very excited about this one. So thank you all for coming. Sara, thanks so much for being here today. I'm going to mute myself and shut my video off. So it's all you. Thanks.
All right, thank you so much. I'm really excited to talk to all of you about how you can inspire girls in tech. So, TechGirlz, I'm going to talk to you guys today. My name is Sara Neiman. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. You'll see on the presentation today that we have a hashtag, Make Room for Girls, and that's actually a campaign that we launched this year to celebrate our 10th year anniversary of TechGirlz. And it's really to provide programs and education opportunities for girls in the tech space. So a little bit about what we will be talking about today. I'm going to talk about who I am, talk about our mission, talk about our programs. I'm going to go through how you can access our curricula, how you can use our curriculum, getting it involved, and then our lasting impact. So who am I? I know you guys are all saying where you're from and what you are teaching. So I am the Chicagoland Outreach for TechGirlz. I started this past year. I am a former Chicagoland teacher. I taught social studies and writing, as well as intervention and math and all that fun stuff that comes along with teaching middle school. And I really wanted to continue to collaborate in the educational space. And I wanted to move into the nonprofit sector, and I found this opportunity within TechGirlz to do so. So what I mainly do is that I collaborate with schools, individual volunteers, companies, organizations to utilize our materials and bring these programs to life for girls. So what is our mission? TechGirlz is actually a program of creating IT futures. We are a nonprofit that really wants to inspire middle school girls to explore technology and empower them for their future careers. So we know from research and from experience that middle school age is so critical. This is where youth really decides what they're into, what they're not into, and we want to make sure that girls especially are getting these experiences, because unfortunately there's less than 25% of women in the tech field. So we really strive to make engaging hands-on programs that want to expose girls to different things than just coding. So we know there's coding programs out there, but we want to make a wide variety for girls to get involved. And what's really great about us is that we've actually been around for 10 years now, and we are a national nonprofit, so we're able to really go anywhere, especially since we're digital. And I'll go into more about that. But really, we want girls to have these safe spaces to learn these programs, and we feel that there's not enough resources out there. So our main mission is really to spread these resources and to get girls involved. And just to kind of go off that, so what are some current problems? And I'm sure you might be familiar with this, getting girls involved in technology, or the T in STEM, right? A lot of programs are not hands-on. They might be hypothetical, or they might just simply talk about a subject, but don't really give girls or the youth the opportunity to learn these hands-on. So our solutions are really to encourage hands-on programs and really try to focus on a wide variety of tech topics. And oftentimes, young children are sometimes afraid to make mistakes. So within our programs, we always try to encourage girls to make mistakes, try new things, broaden their range of tech careers. So we don't necessarily want to play into inaccurate perceptions of women in the field. A lot of volunteers might actually be women in the tech field. And it's really just about creating a safe space for other girls to gain confidence. Even though by research, girls have the same achievement levels as boys, they often have lower confidence than boys. So our program really focuses on girls to create that safe space for them. So what do we offer? We have quite a lot that we offer. So I'm gonna kind of do an overview and then I'll dive more into it. So first of all, we provide free workshops or free curriculum in a workshop format. It says there are 50 topics, but we actually have 60 different topics. And what comes within those are workshop plans. And I'll actually run through that with you today so you can see that more in depth and what that might look like in the school setting, whether as an after-school club or an enrichment program or an independent workshop for your community. We also do camp programming. So a lot of schools are like, hey, we want to do a camp, but we don't have the resources or we don't have the budget for it. What's really great is that we have programs already set up, and I'll talk more about that and how you can access them. I think what's really cool about us is that we have a teen advisory board. So even though our programs are for middle school girls, we have teen advisory boards that advise us on different topics that we should create for the girls. They actually run workshops as well because we have teen volunteer programs. If you're 15 or up, you can volunteer with us. That way it's giving back to your community, really creating those lifelong relationships with maybe your former students or your current students who might have phased out of the program. So we really want to make sure that we are still connecting with the community as a whole. And we do that through our teen volunteer program, teen advisory board, and then obviously adults that can volunteer with us as well. So I just really want to strive or emphasize this. We are more than code. We have over 60 tech topics that you can access and download online literally right now. And a lot of educators and a lot of people don't know that we have these very valuable resources. So I'm really, really excited to explain that a little bit more in depth. But some examples are designing mobile apps, game design, robotics, media editing, cybersecurity. So this just really strikes home that we have over 60 tech topics and it's constantly growing. We always want to make sure that we know that tech is changing. So we update our curriculum as maybe that tech program is changing, but we also strive to incorporate what's important and what's changing in society today. So these are the formats and how they're kind of set up. And then I'll actually go into how you can utilize these in the school setting. So we have TechShopz in a box. That's what I was talking about when I was referring to the workshop plans and the workshop topics. So what that gives you is a lesson plan, and I'll go in more detail about this, but it gives you a lesson plan, instructor slideshow, all the resources embedded and linked around that tech topic. So if you are interested, you can make this a standalone workshop. You can make this for an after-school club. If it is a standalone workshop, I can talk more about that, how we provide promotion and logistics for that. But what's really great is that everything is included, embedded in the lesson plan. And when I go through that, I'll show that as well. Another format of a program that we have is Tech Camp in a Box. So I briefly talked about this, but we have built tech camps, and they last about 20 to 30 hours of programming. And we have a camp director who's in charge of helping you make those camp programs for your schools, for your community, what would work best within your school or organization. And it can be used continuously for a week, or we've had people use it as like a workshop series as well around a certain thematic tech topic. So the TechShopz in a box are standalone around a topic, and the Tech Camp in a Box is more project-based learning in a group, and they build upon a certain theme. So this is what I'm really excited about because this is fairly new. As you know, we are practicing social distancing, especially in response to COVID-19. We are really learning how to work in an e-learning environment. So we have actually started new programs. We started live virtual workshops and instructional webinars. So what's really great about this is that these programs can be done anywhere. You can still engage with youth during social distancing, and it gives you an opportunity to volunteer with people you probably would never meet in person because it's national. Regardless of location, you can start to collaborate with different individuals just by volunteering with us. So I'm really excited about that as well. So I know I talked about the different programs. I'm going to show you how to access the curriculum. So our website is techgirlz.org. All right, perfect. So you should see our website right now. I'm just gonna kind of go through it and what you should notice when you go to our homepage. So this is our homepage. It tells you what, if you wanna get involved, you can click through that. Tells you a little bit about our background, which I already talked about. And it talks about upcoming events, how you can volunteer, and then signing up for our newsletter. But I want to show you how you can access our curriculum. So at the very top, you'll see this green toolbar. There's an About page, our Events page, and then our Download Curricula page. So what you would want to do is click on Download Curricula. So this is going to direct you to workshop plans. If you're interested in camp plans, I'll show you that as well and how you can look at those programs that we have built in. But when you are directed to this, it will direct you to the topics that we have. And I think this is amazing because I taught social studies, and I think the most technology I ever had was Google Classroom, and that's about it. So I started with the 1-star. That's basic. You know, a lot of teachers, we teach ourselves content to present or to teach our students. So it's very similar in that sense that you can pick whichever level you're kind of comfortable with. Our 1-star topics are basic, so you might have no experience or a little bit experience. 2-star topics are intermediate, so you have some idea of terminology or languages or the hardware, and you might be up to learning a new topic. And then we have advanced. So you're in the tech field, maybe you're a tech teacher, you love using different type of technology, that would be in the advanced level. So when I scroll down, you can sort by the topics. So you could sort by basic topics, intermediate, or advanced. I'm just gonna kind of scroll through to show you what this looks like. So 1-star topics, and this is the vast variety of topics that we have. So we have coding, we have game design, designing mobile apps, making a website, using these different programs. I should state that most of these programs are open web-based programs. So what that means is that they are free programs online, and we design our curriculum around that. There are a minority of some that might require external resources like a Makey or a Raspberry Pi, but most of these are around something you don't have to download, which is really great, especially when you're working with computers from school. It might be hard to download a bunch of programs, so we want to make sure that it's easily accessible. So as you can see, we even have DJing, what's inside a computer, so breaking down a computer, Photoshop, and so on and so on. So when I talk about variety, we have a lot, which is great, and we're constantly updating these. Even architecture, design, thinking about the environment, water pollution, and these then go into the more difficult ones, like engineering and roller coasters, using different programs for that. So I'm gonna scroll up and show you what happens when you're interested in a topic and you wanna download this curriculum. So I'm gonna click on designing mobile apps. It will pull up for you to create a free login, but I'm a returning user. So since I'm a returning user, it's already signed me in. But for you, if it's your first time accessing this, you will be asked to create a free login and password, and then you'll be prompted to this screen. So it will tell you what they're doing. Students will work in teams to design a mobile app, and there's no advanced technical skills required, and it tells you to download this resource. But this is all embedded in this lesson plan, and being a former teacher, I really wish we had these when I was teaching, because it is pretty phenomenal how similar these lesson plans are to teaching lesson plans. So you should see now that I am on our lesson plan for the designing mobile apps. It will give you a brief description, just kind of what they will be doing, what will they learn. And then what's really cool is that it gives you specific objectives. So similar to a lesson plan you might be developing, you can literally, take this and plug it in if you want to use it within your own classroom. But if you're using it as an enrichment program, maybe just for girls, that would be awesome. But if you're using it as a club, then definitely this could be something you submit to your admin when they're asking you what you're doing, how you're formatting it, and so on and so on. So I just want to point out this section right here, which is resources and materials. Each lesson plan, workshop plan comes with this lesson plan, but it also includes the slideshow that you will present. So what you do is you just click on that. And look at that, we already have it already designed for you. So what's really great about these slideshows is that when you go back to the lesson plan, yes, the lesson plan breaks it down a little bit more in detail, literally what do you do when they come in. This is obviously for a public workshop, but you can make this into a after-school club as well, and I'll go into detail about that. But when you're actually presenting the workshop, it tells you what each part will take, how long it will take, and it'll tell you which slide that you should be on, which I think is amazing. So when you're on brainstorming, you'll be on slide 6. So when I go here, oh, look at that, brainstorming slide 6. And honestly, when you're looking at the lesson plan, we have all the notes from the lesson plan already in the slideshow. So it's literally the slideshow is taking the lesson plan and making it into a presentation slide that you can use to the girls directly. And then if you keep going, this is also really cool in the lesson plan. Most of them have optional extension activities that they continue at home. But that's how you access our curriculum in regards to the workshop plans. Now, if you're interested in camp plans, like I said before, download curricula, camp plans, and this will show you our available programs. Now, this is a little bit different. You can't directly download these online, but it will be when you click on something that you might be interested in. Excuse me, I got something. It will tell you a little bit more detail. You can download some of these, but if you're interested in it, you would have to click on, yes, you're ready to run a camp, and then you would submit a form to us, and our director for the camps would just contact you directly on that.
Hey, Sarah, a question came in when you were going through the lesson plans.
Okay.
Do these work on iPads? And do you guys have any maybe indication when you're going through the basic, intermediate, and advanced, what type of devices, I guess, would be applicable to each of those lessons?
Yeah. So you said the first question was on iPads, right?
They specifically asked about iPads, but I guess it could be related to, you know, put that across all devices as you're.
Yeah, so that's a really good question. Really, the majority of these, all you need is a laptop or a Chromebook. If you have an iPad, some of them might transfer kind of weird, except for like the apps that you might need to download. Or if you're doing code, it's a little bit hard to do coding on an iPad. If you have like an external keyboard, then that's perfectly okay. Often we suggest doing these programs on laptops, Chromebooks. That way it's easier for you to kind of format coding and different things you might need a keyboard for versus an iPad that might be a little bit more difficult to do. In regards to external hardware, if you go to download curriculum, I'm just going to go back to the designing mobile apps one. But in each lesson plan, it will tell you what you need. So resources and materials. So this tells you you need the instructor slideshow, you need this app, which is just, if you click on it, I'll show you. It's also accessible through the computer. And then it says that for this one, you might need a phone to upload things, but you could do it on the computer as well. So it gives you options what you can use. But versus if I go to something like a Makey workshop plan. Makey should be down here somewhere. Here we go. For this one, we'll use a Makey inventor kit. So when you go into this type of lesson plan, it will tell you that you will need this external hardware in the resources. Yes, right here. So it says that you need Scratch, which is accessible when you have support of Flash, even Google Chrome, but a Makey, where is it? Makey kit. So if it needs hardware, it will say in hardware. But most of these, if not, I would say like 90% of them, you don't need external hardware. You really just need a projector, Wi-Fi, and Chromebook or laptops. We try to make it as easy as possible to not have to extend our budgets because we all know that education budgets aren't that much. So we always strive to make it clear if you do need something on top of those basic resources, then we add it in here as well. Is there any other, I think the next slide I was going to go over. Yeah, questions. So, you know, I talked about our mission, I talked about our programs, I talked about accessing curricula. I just want to take a break here and see if there are any additional questions that we might have coming up on the chat. And then we can keep going, talking about using the curriculum, getting involved, and our lasting impact.
That's all I've seen so far. Don't forget, folks, if you do have questions, just go ahead and put those in the chat window and we'll make sure we get to all of them.
All right. Well, that was a good time to take a water break. So awesome.
One just came in.
Oh, look at that.
How can we support Tech Girls if we use the curriculum?
Say that one more time.
How can we support Tech Girls if we use the curriculum?
Very good. So thank you. I'm going to go into the next part, which is using curriculum. And it's really easy to support us because we are a nonprofit. We get grants and sponsorships by providing the records of how many girls we are serving. So if you are, and I'll go into it a little bit more, but just kind of to answer that quickly, when you are using our curriculum, since I am the Chicagoland Outreach, you would just email me directly, and I'll have my email on here. But you would just email me directly of the topic, the day you taught it, and how many girls learned it. So we try to make it as easy as possible. It's just for records purposes. Obviously, if you want to share like any projects that you've done with your club or with your class, we're always open to using that for like marketing purposes. Word of mouth is something that we strive on. So if you really like what we do, always connecting us with other educators or individuals who might be interested in volunteering with us. Since our programs are our first priority, we always want to make sure that we're showing by record that these resources are needed. And that's essentially how you can support us that way.
What's the youngest age to participate?
Yeah, that's a good question. So middle school for Illinois is 5th through 8th grade. So the youngest would be 5th grade. If you are, we've had younger girls learn these programs. We just can't record those as serving, middle school girls since that's our mission. And that's, I believe, yeah, that's exactly how it works. So 5th through 8th grade.
But definitely your curriculum could.
Yeah, so we've had younger girls learn our programs at various organizations. They were utilized to teach like 3D printing, so they've used that. We've also had high school girls. They went to a conference, for instance, there was a conference at U of I, and some of the college students there were using our programs to teach high schoolers. So it's definitely a wide variety. I think it has to do with more experience. So learning these different programs, since there's not a lot of them out there, I think we kind of fill that gap regardless of age. And, just because we have programs for 5th through 8th grade doesn't mean you can't use them for other ages. I think if you just take a look at our structure of the program and the difficulty of the program, you can utilize them as you deem fit. I just want to strive or emphasize that we can only record middle school girls being served.
Gotcha. Definitely. And then there was also a question, workshops are 2 to 3 hours. Do they have to be continuous?
Yeah, that's a good question. So if you're doing like an after school club, and I'll go into this more, but that's okay. If you're doing like an after school club, like for instance, one of my former schools that I taught at is doing a TechGirlz club. So how they do it is they actually have the girls pick what workshop topic they want to learn, and they work on that topic, and they meet once a week for, I think it's like an hour 15 minutes. And it usually takes them about 2 to 3 sessions. So to complete one topic. And sometimes they're more interested in one topic than others, so they spend a lot more time on it. It's meant to be flexible for your organization and what works for you. So there's not necessarily like you have to be done within this amount of time. I think that, when kids are really engaged in something, it might take them longer, right? And they might put more energy into it. So I think the best answer for that is that definitely flexible and what works best for you. Any other questions right now?
We're all caught up for now, so.
Okay, awesome. I do have, at the end, to kind of go over everything, and we can stop and ask questions as well. But these are awesome questions, and I'm excited that I'm able to speak with you guys today about this. So now I'm going to talk about, I went through how you can access the curriculum. So what are the different ways you can use this in the school setting, in your community? I'm going to go through that next. So I'm first going to talk about virtual opportunities, and then I'm going to talk about how you can use our programs for after school clubs, then how you can utilize our camp programs, and then maybe if you want to give a public workshop, how you can do that. So these are some examples of public workshops and public camps where girls are engaged and learning. As you can see, they're on laptops, they're in various locations, but I just wanted to show these are some variations of different programs that we've had. So going virtual. So what's really great is that virtual workshops are fairly new. And they are running right now. So virtual workshops are led by a lead instructor. There are assistants on our platform, which we use as Zoom. And we do all the logistics for that. So we do registration, we do setting up all the technology. It is for middle school girls only. So if you're looking for programs, maybe for an e-learning class that you have right now, or you're just trying to keep families engaged during this social distancing, I would definitely suggest using some of these programs. They're live, they're engaging, they're hands-on. And we do have background clearances for our volunteers that do virtual workshops. Just want to make sure that we understand that. We also do that for in-person workshops as well. But a TechGirlz team member like myself or one of my fellow team members would be on that platform. But it really gives a great way to keep being engaged and learn these topics, even though we have to socially be apart. So that is one way that you can continue being engaged with our programs. We have them right now on our event page. They're open to middle school girls and just require registration online. And yeah, it's pretty easy and accessible. Another way to use our program with virtual programs is that we are doing instructional webinars. So what these are recorded and open to anyone. So it's really great because anyone can learn it. It's like a how-to, which is like a link, an open link, and you get to learn it. There's no volunteer or student interaction, but it allows viewers to pause when they need to, but they're still learning the program. If you are interested, I should go back and say if you're interested in being involved in these different events, are open to as well. You would just need a background clearance for virtual workshops through us, but for instructional webinars, I could talk to you more individually about how you can do that. But I just want to let you know that these programs are going on right now. Definitely share out to your communities, your families, and your students. And another way to really keep yourself engaged, and you, like I learned these programs just by volunteering and just by going for it. So I think this would be a good time if you're like, I want to learn how to do these programs, but I'm not sure if I'm ready to start my club in the fall or ready to do my own public workshop. This might be the opportunity to you know, get involved and learn from other volunteers. So you can start off as a teaching assistant in our virtual workshops. You could also just say, hey, I'm ready to lead a workshop, and we can get going on that. But that way you can also open it up to your students, but it's still through us. So that might be something to think about too. Obviously, if you just want to learn the program and you're not very comfortable running a live workshop, instructional webinar might be something you could do. And basically, it's just running our programs, but you're recording it and you're screenshotting it. So it's a little bit different, but I did want to introduce you guys to that because it is fairly new. And I'm really excited about it that we're moving into this different sector for us. So. All right, so I know many of you guys are probably interested in this. I saw in the chat that some of you have clubs, so this might be where we kind of fit best. So definitely flexible at schedule. So it's really easy. These are the steps. Pick one of our topics from our workshop plan, pick a location, make sure that you have Wi-Fi, computers, laptops, or Chromebook, and a projector. And once you get your club going, you just have to report back to me, or if you're, well, you're all in Illinois, so you'll just report back to me because I'm the Midwest coordinator as well. And you just tell me how many girls are served and which topic is taught. So for instance, that club, or one of the clubs that is at my former school, I just check in with her every couple weeks, say, hey, what topic are you working on? She lets me know. And when she switches topics, she lets me know as well, and how many girls were taught that topic. So very easy and accessible to run this, to ensure that you are supporting us so we can still create curriculum, to make these curriculum for you and available. But this is especially, I think, going to be a good fit for a lot of teachers out there. Yeah, after school clubs. Another option might be running a tech camp. So like I said before, we have already built in these 20 to 30 hours tech camp programs. It might be beneficial to actually run a tech camp within a club if you guys meet a lot, because it is 20 to 30 hours. Maybe you taught them the Arduino workshop topic, and now you want to teach them the camp. So that might be something to think about, as well as how you can use tech camps within your own club. But a lot of schools need, or communities need, programming for spring break, winter break, summer break. These are all available and free. So what's really great is that they are project-based learning, and it is thematic. And really what's awesome is that these girls collaborate, they learn how to communicate better, they learn the technology while building some kind of presentation or project at the end of these camps. So it really gives girls all these different types of essential skill sets that they need to work on in a tech space as well. So how to run a camp? I know I mentioned her before. Her name is Donna. If you want to contact her directly, her name is Donna at TechGirlz.org. She would be more than willing to set up a call with you and figure out how a camp would work best within your school, but also within maybe like a series or within a club that you have, and how you can utilize our programs more. So this is another way that you can get involved. Oftentimes we have public workshops for girls. So these can be held at a local library. They can be held at your school. They could be held at an open space that might be donated from a company or a college. But this opens up the programs to everyone, regardless of what school they might go to. And it really gives an opportunity for you to work with a wide variety of children. So if you are running a public workshop, whether at a local library or maybe at your school, we do all the logistics for you. So in this case, we would plan a public workshop about 6 to 8 weeks in advance. So if you go to our website and you look at events, obviously right now we don't have in-person workshops like this, but in the past and in the future we will, and we have. So it's a really great experience to work with girls in a smaller setting, but we do all the registration for you. We create the registration list, and then we also communicate with the public about the logistics of the workshop, and we really ensure that your workshop is going to be successful. So any way that we can support you, we promote it out to social media as well. And literally all you have to do is show up to the location and teach the workshop. And it gives you an opportunity to engage in the community a little bit more than whether, I mean, instead of just at your school, it creates more of a community at a larger level. So that's another option. You can get involved with our programs. So who can volunteer? I always get this question. Literally anyone, teachers, college students, 15 years and up, you can volunteer. You can do after school groups. A lot of people in the tech industry volunteer with us, and they want to connect and give back and create that bigger impact in their community by being a part of our programs. High school students, this is a great way for them to kind of give back, but also fill out those volunteer hours they might have to do. You know, it definitely is something they can add onto their resume, and it gives them an opportunity to have that bigger piece and a bigger connection to their community as well. I want to add this. I get this question, can males volunteer? Yes, anyone and everyone can volunteer, regardless of gender or whatever it might be. So as long as you are interested in expanding our mission, go for it. So what are the benefits? There are a ton of benefits. Really, you're becoming a part of something greater. You're being a driving force for a community that is more diverse and gender balanced. And really, you're demonstrating your support of women in the tech community, but also girls. You're giving them a safe space to learn. You're giving them these opportunities that perhaps they would not have before. And really, you know, if you start to volunteer at public workshops or you start to volunteer with virtual workshops, you get to network with a whole bunch of people. You'd be surprised with the connections you can make, and you know that might later on create those relationships lasting for a long time. So it's always great to connect with different people in your community, especially when you are running these programs. But just remember that you are helping to build that more diverse environment for tech, and you are creating that empowerment for girls. So what's our impact? What's really great is that we have girls actually complete a survey after every TechGirlz workshop, every TechGirlz program, and we get this direct feedback, which is amazing. So after one workshop, 82% of girls were more interested in tech. And that just shows you that we are striving to become that great resource to get girls involved, to get them engaged, to get them learning about topics they might have never thought about before. And 70% of girls were more interested in a career in tech. So this just shows you that we are moving towards our mission, girls engage, inspiring them in technology, but also opening their eyes to a world that perhaps they haven't been exposed to before. All right, so I went through how you can use curriculum. I went through how you can get involved. I went through lasting impact. So I guess with that, what questions do we have? Questions about any of the programs?
I think everybody's just thoroughly impressed.
Yay! No, really excited to, you know, being a former teacher, I have a huge passion and appreciation for teachers, and definitely connecting anybody and everybody with these valuable resources. It's easy to find free resources, but it's not always easy to find valuable, engaging, well thought out resources. So any way to connect further and explain how to do these programs, that's kind of my whole role. So definitely check us out at techgirlz.org. I'm Sara Neiman. I'm the Chicagoland Midwest coordinator for TechGirlz. If you're not sure, you don't necessarily who to contact, you don't want to contact me for some reason, you can always reach us at info@techgirlz.org. But yeah, I think.
So a few questions are coming in. Does any of the project-based learning include audio technology, recording, or video making?
Okay, that's a great question. So if I go back.
Video something in there, I thought.
Yeah, we have, oh no, I stopped share. Hold on one second. Okay, so it's kind of funny. I'm trying to get in here, but my screen share is like at the very top. All right, so let's just do this. If I go to TechGirlz, we do have video production, I believe, but let me double check. I don't want to say the wrong thing. But I'm pretty sure we do. Build your own cybersecurity. Design and photography.
I feel like it was one of the lesson plans. I kind of remember seeing something video.
Yeah, there is a video. So what we've done before is organizations have wanted to do something similar like that. where we have photography for marketing, but we also have storytelling and video production. So they'll learn how to construct stories using to produce and edit photo and video content. So they've combined a couple of things to learn how to do like video editing and also like storytelling. So they might combine the workshop with podcasting as well. So you can build them together. If you're like, I'm not really sure how to do this, we also do build your own. We can build a camp for you that would be specialized for you. That does come with the cost, but it is an option for you. Definitely reaching out to our camp director and she can go more detail about that. Once again, I'll put it on the screen, but it's
I put her link in her email in the chat window, the Donna. And also somebody asked, can you tell me again who we need to contact to get approved to hold a camp or workshop as far as a background check? I'm assuming that's Donna as well.
Yes, so Donna is all in charge of running your camp. If you work at a school, since your organization is vouching for you and you are probably going to be, having your own students come to that camp, you don't need a background check. However, if you are running like a public camp, definitely checking with your HR to see how that would work if other people come into your camp versus just your students. Because if your HR at your school approves like, hey, we vouch for our teachers, we vouch for our staff, then that would be okay as well. But otherwise, background clearances, I can give that link out as well. It's through our website. I can show you real quick, actually. Since I'm here, if you go to our website and it says get involved, you go to background clearances. It does come with a $20 fee, but that way it lasts for 5 years and you don't have to worry about it. So if you're interested in virtual volunteering or, in-person public workshops in your community or running your school's like, nah, we don't want to, vouch for you for some weird reason, then you can just do these background clearances as well.
Great. Okay, going through, somebody asked how old the nonprofit is, just curious.
Yeah, we've been around for 10 years now. We started in Philadelphia and we've been expanding our programs. We just came out to the Midwest about a year and a half ago, so we are continuously expanding. Since we are digital, we can literally go anywhere. So we do have a national outreach manager who's in charge of different touch points as well. So we can go anywhere.
What do you recommend in terms of audio technology and podcasting for students?
Audio technology and podcasting for students. So if you go to our curriculum, we do have a podcasting workshop, and then audio, I would say the storytelling as well. So combining the podcasting and the storytelling and video production, those two kind of go well together. That's what I would suggest. I'm trying to make sure there's 60 plus of them here. So I'm trying to remember if there's anything that I forgot here, but I believe those are the two that I would suggest.
Okay. Mia asked, can you create a profile for the website? I found a sign-in section on the website. So are you supposed to create a profile?
So yeah, you're supposed to create a free, so if I go to TechGirlz, I want to download a workshop plan.
I remember you showing a sign-in where you were already signed in.
Yeah, I'll show you it if I can just sign out and then I should be able to show you. Give me 1 second. So if I log out, so if you're a new user, you just hit please register. And then you would fill out this information. And then once you submit it, you should be able just to log in that way.
Raynon, and I apologize if I'm saying that wrong, who asked about the audio recording and podcasting also says, what equipment types of microphones do you provide for this, if any?
So we don't have external hardware to provide. For clubs or schools, I would definitely suggest doing like a Donors Choose or a GoFundMe. But if you want like specific microphones, I can send that information out, or I can contact our curriculum manager, which is also Donna. So she would be the one to know exactly which hardware would be best as well.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, the last question I see here, and I apologize if I missed anybody, please type them in again if I did. Can we access pre-recorded workshops?
Yes, so right now we are uploading them since they are fairly new. If you go to, it should be under download curricula once we have it uploaded. Also, we have a YouTube page that's where we're going to be uploading our content. So what I would strongly suggest is if you are interested in those pre-recorded content, maybe using your classroom or learning more about us, definitely sign up for our newsletter. So on that newsletter, you'll get updates of virtual workshops that are happening. You'll get the content, the pre-recorded content embedded in links, so you have it, you know where when it's going to be uploaded. So since this is fairly new and we're editing it and updating it, I would definitely sign up for a newsletter just to get that content when it is uploaded and ready.
Fantastic. Okay, then I think we're all caught up. Any last minutes from you? Otherwise, if you could put the presentation back up.
Yep. You know, my computer likes doing this weird thing. Give me a second. Display settings. Okay. Let's just go through. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. No, that's it. It's all you.
Okay, awesome. Well, then thank you so much. This was phenomenal. So many great responses coming in the chat. I think everybody is completely excited about utilizing this. I wish I was back in the classroom. I would definitely, I had an after-school tech club and I would have been all over this. Now I'm considering if I should be going and volunteering at my kids' school, which they'll kill me for it, but you know, what are you gonna do? But anyhow, I wanted to just let you guys know about our upcoming webinars. Tomorrow we have Newsela for distance learning. So please go ahead, if you go to ideaillinois.org/calendars, that will be where you can register for any of our upcoming webinars. We've got virtual office hours going on right now, all kinds of webinars. So like I said, tomorrow at noon is Newsela. And I forget which slides I gave you, Sarah, if you could click to the next one. Friday, we have a whole slew of webinars all day. So especially, I know that there was somebody for hearing impaired, I think online or on today's webinar, but if we have any special education teachers looking for information, Friday we have webinars with eLuma online therapy, and we're going to be doing online strategies for special ed teachers, for speech, for OT, and for school psych and mental health. So definitely check those out as well. And then last but not least, I believe, all of our information, as everybody is right now, but we have got so much going on due to the remote learning that everybody is experiencing right now. So we created a web page on our website. You can reach it at bit.ly/idea_home learning. And that's where we are housing all of these great opportunities. Recordings of our webinars you can access through that page. So all of this awesome stuff is housed there, and definitely please check it out. We also are doing a weekly calendar of activities and resources focusing on SEL for students, and then the 4 C's. So we do one day where it's an SEL activity, and then the other 4 days of the work we give you, or of the week, we give you one activity for each of the 4 C's. And so definitely check that out. We update that calendar weekly and put it out every Monday with that week's activities. So definitely something for you to utilize with your students if you're looking for those opportunities. I'm going to place into the chat window right now the link for your PDH. So if you are looking for the PDH for today, this is coming through. The link will be available till midnight tonight, so definitely click it right now, fill out the quick paperwork, and that way we have a attendance record for you, and ISB will have their record as well. So beyond that, Sarah, thank you so much. Everybody who was here today, and then everybody who registered, by tomorrow morning, so I usually send them about 8 o'clock in the morning, you will get a recording of the recording, obviously. You'll get a link to the recording. You will get the chat file as well as Sarah's presentation, and then any links to resources or things like that. People from another state, unfortunately, we can only provide attendance credit for Illinois educators. If you're looking for something specifically to say that you were on it, we don't have reciprocals with other state, but if you're just looking for something for your district or something like that, we can definitely get that to you. When you when you get the recording of the webinar, why don't you just shoot me an email back and let me know what you need, and I can take care of that. I'm putting the link back for the PDH. I think somebody just asked for that again, so I'm going to stick that back in there. Hopefully that's clickable and workable for everybody. And then other than that, Sarah and I will stick around for another minute or two if there's any last minute questions. Otherwise, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Girls doing technology, so very excited. There was lots of good questions.
Yeah, there was. I had an interesting, when I was scrolling through, I don't know if they were asking about like fundraising, because they were asking about a tip jar, which I thought was.
That was that Mia asking about, and you kind of took it a different route.
Right, so I can explain that just
tip jar.
Really quickly. So we do accept donations. Since we are a nonprofit, all our, fundraising goes through sponsorships and grants, but also individual donations. So if you are interested in supporting us that way, we would really appreciate it so we can continue making curriculum for you guys. You just go to techgirlz.org and you can go to the top and click on donations. So yeah.
Thanks for asking that question, Mia. Awesome. Well, I think we're good, and it's at the top of the hour. So thank you so much. I appreciate this. Again, I will send out the resources tomorrow. I saw you sent me the PDF of the presentation, so thank you. If there's anything else you want to link or whatever in that email, then definitely send it to me today, and I'll get that included in the email. Lisa, are you looking for the PDH link? Are you asking if that's the one you need to type in? Oh, you said you can't click the link. Just copy and paste it then. I don't know why it's not clickable right now. I put everything in the right way, so I'm not sure why it's not clicking for you, but if you copy and paste it into a URL bar, that'll work fine too. And if you have trouble with that, let me know. And yes, Mia, I'm so glad to hear that this was your 5th PD this week, and that's awesome. I'm glad you're taking advantage of these opportunities, these free opportunities for PD, which is even better. But I appreciate you saying that they've all been better than the last. So that's thank you very much. We're happy to do this and offer these resources to everybody. So, and we appreciate our partners who are stepping forward and doing this with us. So that's awesome. So thank you. So, Sarah, I think we're good.
All right. Thank you so much.
And we'll chat soon.
All right. Bye.
Have a good one. Bye.
You too.